Yashala, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Shemai, Yashala, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Shemai, Yashala, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Bahasharak HaKodash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. I was a high spirit winning lawyer, and today I want to go into a topic entitled, We Will Be Upgraded in the Kingdom. We will be upgraded in the kingdom. All right. Starting with 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter, where it goes into Ezra, our forefathers, seeing us, the hopefully elect, in the future, after America has been destroyed, at the commencement ceremony, where Yahweh Shai, our big brother, all right, is giving us a status upgrade. He gives us a crown and a victory palm in our hand, because the palm, or like a palm from a palm tree, represents victory. All right, it represents victory, overcoming the beast, overcoming Babylon. All right, but it says that He will give us a crown, put a crown on our head. And what does that crown represent? It represents rulership. That crown represents rulership. It represents lordship. You see? We're no longer going to have to work a 9 to 5. We're no longer going to have to work or hustle to survive. We're no longer going to have to put all our energy behind one business, all right, so the business can grow, all right, because you have brothers who are entrepreneurs, all right. All right, you no longer will have to pay bills. You no longer have to depend on some inflating dollar. Okay, you no longer have to give some police officer your license and registration when you get pulled over. You no longer have to acquiesce to things that you don't have to, that you don't want to acquiesce to just to keep your job. All right, you no longer have to worry about, you know, certain things with your woman, or hiding certain things, whatever it may have you. Right? A lot of us, we're suffering from a lack of status, because the scripture says we are a holy people. And Ezra, our forefather, cried to the Most High through the angel, saying, if the world belongs to us, all right, why don't we have a partake? Why don't we have a portion in this world if you made the world for our sakes? Because it was clearly explained in 2nd Ezra, I believe it's the 6th chapter, around the 56th verse, that we all came from Adam, but that chosen line was of Israel. We all came from Adam, but that chosen line was of Israel, because the whole time it was designed for a particular line to come from Adam to Seth, and from Adam to Seth, all the way to Yahweh Shai. Okay, all the way to Israel. All right, so it was set up in the beginning for us to get the planet Earth, but because of transgression of Adam, we had to get it the hard way, and now we're done with the hard way. We've received our education. We received the knowledge of good and evil. All right, America was the evil. All right, even the different captivities we were in prior to America, that was like an example of evil. But America was an example of what not to do. All right. So now, instead of just having it like how it was back in the garden, we had to have it through different captivities. We had to have it through experience. And that's what matured us as a nation. Okay. So we received our inheritance, but we had to work for it and fight for it. We had to earn it. Okay, but now Abba willing is us. you know, the brothers that's teaching and the brothers that's listening right now, the brothers and sisters that's listening, we are about to get upgraded. All right, we're about to receive a status upgrade. We're about to go from workers, employees, to kings and priests. All right, we're about to go from, if you're a sister, you're going to go from being a sister or a woman to a princess in the sense of status. You're already inherently a princess. You're already inherently a prince. Is in your name, Yashar Allah, He Prince of the Power. So by virtue, if you are a young lady, if you are a woman, then you are a princess. But now you are about to receive your status upgrade. That's what 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter, was about. All right, just us being known to be Israelites, that's the beginning of their status upgrade, because it tells you in the place where it was said, you are not my people. Was that Hosea 1 and 10? The place where it said, you are not my people. There it will be said, you are the sons of the living God. So that's the beginning of the status upgrade. Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh lifting up a standard for us. That's the beginning of the status upgrade. We being shielded in the time of Jacob's trouble. That's the beginning of the status upgrade. And definitely we're ascending into the chariot. That's the beginning of the status upgrade. We've never experienced, see when rappers rap, they want status. When you watch rap videos, that's a rapper, all right, reenacting, all right, or embodying having status. There's a bunch of women around him. It's the respect of everybody. He's getting the respect from everybody. He has cars and houses and money, and the music is playing in the background, you see? But in real time, he just a nigga. He might have more than us, but he doesn't have power. He doesn't have a say-so in this society. He doesn't have control of the economy, or she doesn't have control in this economy. They don't have influence in that regard, right? And most likely his children are not certified, secured through his status. Because most rappers go broke, most entertainers go broke, because ultimately they're still subject to the curses. See, speaking of curses, in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, when it went into the curses, it was about us being demoted from a certain status. That's why I said the stranger that is within thee will get above thee very high. Because when the Most High established us as a nation, when he planted us in a particular land, and he gave us the laws, statutes, and commandments to orient ourselves in that land, to manage ourselves in that land, it was designed, the laws were designed for the stranger to be within our habitation, to borrow from us, to put themselves in slavery for us, make themselves servants for us. All right? That's why I said the stranger that is within thee. That means within your headquarters. But now they're within our headquarters, our so-called neighborhoods. They have their stores, they have their establishments, Korean shops. Esau's a stranger. He has his banks. He has his banking system. All right, he has his Federal Reserve notes. That's why it says he should lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. Because the person that's in power has the ability to lend. Now, what does it say about lending in the book of Proverbs? The borrower is a servant to the lender. All right, so they have the status. They're the giants right now. Esau has been the giant. I believe the word stature goes back to status, or status goes back to stature. In Genesis, we were referred to as men of renown, celebrities, famous men, the Israelites, the sons of Yahweh. All right, men of renown. Well, wait a minute, we're going to get that stature back, pursuing the Hosea, the place where it said unto them, you are not my people. There it will be said, you are the sons of the living God. Well, wait a minute. Were we not called the sons of the living God, or the sons of God in the book of Genesis? What we were called giants? So we're going to go back to being called the sons of God, or the sons of Yahweh, or he, Prince of Yahweh. Talk about a status upgrade. Talk about a status upgrade. When the Most High reveals who he is to the nations, then he reveals who his people are. That's going to be a status upgrade. That's going to be a status upgrade. See, the Israelite man, he's suffering right now. He's suffering from a lack of respect. He's suffering from not being appreciated in this kingdom. He's suffering from not being admired. He's suffering from not being respected. But when the Most High shows who he is, he shows who his people are, the Israelite man is going to be respected. The Israelite man is going to be celebrated, appreciated, admired. So right now, your soul is suffering because you're a king held captive. You're a tiger in the zoo. All right? And the Israelite woman, the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American woman, all right, which is a princess. That's why the nations want your lips. That's why the nations want your physique. That's why the nations want your melanin. All right? That's why even the archetype of a so-called black woman being a whore, like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, is celebrated because she's still an Israelite woman. So even in your darkness, even in your curse, your demotion, the nations want to be like you. Same thing with an Israelite man, even as a degenerate plant, even as the archetype of a nigga. That's the only archetype that's being celebrated. An athlete or a nigga athlete. All right, that's celebrated because it tells you that a man that's celebrated in this captivity or in this lower state, how much more in this rulership, roughly paraphrasing. All right. You know? So we're going to receive something called status. I was watching a documentary, like a 1950s documentary, and it was called How to Sell to a Negro. You can look it up on YouTube. It was basically Edomites analyzing the so-called black man in America back then. And he was saying that because the so-called black man is not admired in this society, he's sort of the underdog. He has a deep desire to be appreciated, which is why he associates himself with certain name brands, which is why he dressed the part. He wants to be acknowledged. He wants to be admired. Like, how do you know that about us back in the 1950s? This man studies us. Even this particular group in Africa, which they're Israelites, they're poor as fuck, but they'll get a loan out the bank, a loan which will allow them to give their family a better life. But instead, they'll take that loan out the bank and actually buy themselves better, expensive clothes, French clothes, all right? Just so they could be admired. And when they walk through a room with those expensive clothes on, people treat them like a celebrity. And that's all that they itch and desire, man. Well, in the kingdom, you're not going to have to go broke just to buy clothes, just to be admired, just to feel like somebody. It's going to be a beautiful feeling to be appreciated and to be admired just because you are an Israelite man. Or the Israelite woman is not going to have to be half naked. She's not going to have her clothes off. She's not going to have to pack her face with makeup. She's not going to have to be addicted to some social media. She's going to know she's a princess, and she's going to have that status above any nation of women on the planet Earth under her Lord. You know? See, in this society, the Israelite woman, and I said a nigga woman, she doesn't see any benefit from being under an Israelite man. He has to have at least 100K a year to talk to her on that level. He has to have this, he must do that. All right? But in the kingdom, All right, that's not going to be an issue. You know, it's not going to be an issue, man. You see, we're going to get upgraded, man. We're going to get our upgrade. Our status is going to be upgraded, man. All right. That's why it says the plowman shall overtake the reaper. Who's the plowman? It's the Israelites, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. All right, we're the producers in this society. We're the people. We're the people in this society driving all these damn delivery trucks, dropping these packages off to different companies and dropping these packages off to different houses. And we're in these plants. We're in these warehouses. All right, we're in these restaurants, man. We're the modern day plowmen. The foundation was us being actual slaves on these plantations to sharecroppers, and then we got into these damn plants and stuff. Okay, but we're the producers. We're the battery to this society, man. Or we're the battery, man. Like someone explained in a particular podcast, I think his name was Blue Pill. Like the Israelite man is a battery. The first battery is us. We are a battery in this man's kingdom, man. That's why it says he will wear out the saints of the Most High, because he just uses us to produce in this society. Whether you produce it in a blue collar sense or white collar sense, in a nigga sense where you're selling his drugs and going to prison and being state property or the property of a private penitentiary. All right, you are a producer in this society. You know, in the place where it said, "You are not my people," there it will be said, "You are the sons of the living God," which means that Yahweh is going to reveal himself. He's going to reveal himself to the nations. All right. It's going to be known that there is a living power dealing with a particular group of people. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Hakodash. All right? In the place where it was said, "You are not my people," there it will be said, "You are the sons of the living God." You know? And that's pretty much the point, man. Because when you get up in the morning, it could be depressing getting up in the morning, because you are a servant to a payment. We are servants to payments, man. We're subject to payments. That's what I mean. We're slaves to payments, man. And we are servants too, or slaves, because the borrower is a servant to a lender. If you have to get a car note, you're a slave. You are a slave, and you're a slave to usury. The scripture says, "Thou shalt not exact usury from your brethren." Well, if your car costs $20,000 and because of the interest, it's now $40,000. Not only are you a slave to this car note, you are a slave to the interest compounded on that car note. Same thing with the mortgage. All right, you're a slave to that shit, man. You're not accumulating anything. You're not building wealth. See, we had systems back within our nation for us to accumulate wealth, man. But to be working a job or a certain career until your body starts to break down, or your stress level is so high because you're dealing with so much bullshit, you're working 12-hour shifts, that's not fucking natural, man. See, the Israelite woman was naturally a nurse. But guess who you nursed? You nursed your elders. You nursed your husband. You nursed the sons and daughters. Working 12-hour shifts to be a fucking CNA or a nurse to people who were eating the food of this kingdom. They're in the hospital because in most cases they spent the last 20 years eating the food of this kingdom. And you have to nurse them, you know, or and prescribe them medicines, or give them a routine of medicine, all right, of pills that constantly breaks them down even more. But at the same time, they're dependent on it, all right? You have to go to school and teach someone else's badass kids, all right? That's not natural. You teach your own kids, you know? But that's the point. I'm at work. And with that, to the next time, Shalom.